What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy JDiesel coming at you with the next installment of Under the Radar. And with me, as always, my partner in crime, Grandmaster FloKey. How you doing, my man?
It's finals week here, and I'm about to graduate, and I'm like half asleep, and I've been doing Goku fuzzies all day. I'm tired.
That's a packed schedule.
It is. Goku fuzzies take priority because I'm tired, I guess. But today's a special one, Jay.
Uh-oh.
Oh God. Probably and I kept the hint very vague this week. I don't know if you guys caught it. I was just like, he's one of the best in the East Coast, and I was like, let's see how many names got put out there. Nothing really happened. I noticed that, but he's one of my favorite players to watch and learn from. I had the chance to meet him at Summer Jam. Been duking out with him ever since. He represents Beast Coast, New Jersey's own, an Arxis legend.
Wow, the build-up.
LordKnight. How are you, sir?
Good, thank you. That was very nice. That was a nice intro.
Listen, I try to make it the best intro I could think of, because ever since final round, I'm like, I gotta make sure like things are on point.
Hey,
so,
mad respect. Now, we like to kick it off as always. For those of you who don't know who you are, and I can't imagine it's too many, take it away, LK. Talk a little bit about yourself, your scene, all that jazz.
You say my scene or my seed? That's two different things.
Your scene. You don't have to get into that quite yet, but at least a bit about your background and who you are.
No, it's not the I'm a fighting game player who plays 2D fighters.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my background.
That's your background? Short and sweet?
That's a short and sweet background.
Yeah, that's my background.
Where's the complex anime origin story where you're gonna like go over like being abandoned in a village and training for 10 years?
Do you want an origin story?
Oh, come on, let's give it to the people.
Yeah.
The people want the origin story.
There's a couple. I mean, I guess for 2D fighters, it's probably better than competitive gaming in general. I guess because for 2D fighter, the 2D fighter one is I didn't learn my lesson from when I got into competitive games. So like when I started SSBM in high school, I went to a tournament. I was like, I'm fucking nice. And I got blown back. And then I was like, I don't think these guys are like smarter than me. I just don't know how to play. Right?
Okay.
So then 2 years later, I did the same thing in Melty, but I was like, I'm definitely going to win. As if I didn't learn that I was going to get blown back. I got blown back again. And then I was like, but instead of saying these guys are not smarter than me, I just need to learn the game. I was like, these games suck, so I won't play. And I didn't play fighting games for like a year. And a year later, I played Multi-Bone Online, and like that was it.
That was the game. Was that the game that got you hooked?
Yeah, that's the first fighting game I played in tournaments was Multi-Bone. A good game.
Definitely. I mean, I see how you kind of went through that early arc, and a lot of players suffer with this. Is like they get to that point, they're like, "Oh, I'm nice," and then they go to tournament, and they get blown up, and then it breaks a lot of people. Like a lot of people are just like, "Oh, this game's just bad, right? It's a bad game. I can't win at this game, so it's not a good game."
Well, I definitely literally said that on Multi-Bone. I said the game was bad, so I'm not gonna play. But over time, after like a few months, I played online, and I was like, "Oh, this game's pretty fun."
Yeah. And then you as well. So starting with Melty Blood, and then you kind of moved up because I remember watching you with BlazBlue Chrono Fantasy, like the BlazBlue series, as well as with Persona 4. You had a top 8 in Persona at Evo. If I remember correctly.
Yeah. I finished second in that. I finished second in that BlazBlue and Melty.
Yeah. So definitely have a background, and you also play Guilty Gear, so you kind of like have like a mixed bag of everything, and now you're in the Dragon Ball universe. Holding it down. But yeah, I think this podcast is gonna be interesting tonight. One thing that was very interesting to kind of start out was your team, right? Let's start there. You've been through a lot of teams since launch. Like I remember. Was it like Summer Jam? Like initially game launch, you were playing Trunks Kid Buu, and then you moved into Go Tanks, and then Ginyu came in there. Now you're rocking Bardock, Trunks, Yamcha, kind of almost frequently now.
No, that's the team.
It's the team.
That's the team.
It's gonna stick.
Yeah.
All right.
They had to release something like super broken for me to not play that team.
Right. Yeah. Because so one thing that I want to bring up to you as a question is, why did you go through all those teams? Was it because of preference of character, or was it you like were you thinking about the meta at the time, or it was just
Yeah, I just didn't really know what to do, and I wanted to. So I don't really like. I'm not like a really big Dragon Ball fan, so I
Right.
don't have any real attachment to any character. Well, now after playing for a year, I have a little bit, but like the only character I liked from the show that was in the game is Trunks when the game came out. Trunks in 18 when the game came out. They they fucking canceled. They interviewed me at Super Saiyan Showdown last year, and they're
Yeah.
like, "Who's your favorite Dragon Ball character?" And I was like, "Android 21." And they're like, "They made her for this game." I was like, "Uh huh." And then they didn't play. They didn't play the fucking interview. They didn't play my interview because of
that was a 50-50. That was an
yeah,
actual.
I was like, oh. I was like, what? They were like, wait a second, and then they just didn't. Like the whole interview, I gave true answers, and they didn't play it, which is kind of sad. But
That's interesting.
so because of that, though, I knew it was a team game, so I couldn't just pick characters the way I normally do. Because normally I try to pick a strong character that I like.
Right.
So I'm not trying to like be cool and play low tier. Like I want to play someone strong, but like cool looking, whatever. In this game, I thought I should try to find something strong because, like, yeah, I could copy everyone and have quick success, but I won't know as much about the game if I do that.
Right.
So it's probably better for me to try to find something. If I find my own team that's strong, that means I'm a step ahead of the meta, which is the goal. You want to do something that's meta defining. You don't want to just follow unless the whatever is being played commonly is so fucking strong that you literally have to use it, like Bardock or something, like
Right.
Yeah.
or like Super Saiyan Vegeta, or when the game came out. I shouldn't say Bardock like that easily. It's not like that now, but
Pre-patch
when the game came
Vegeta.
out,
Yeah.
pre-patch Vegeta in 16, like right before that May patch, I was like, you literally have to play 16 or Vegeta. You have to play one of them. So, because of that, I tried experimenting with a lot of things in the game. I think I actually benefited a lot. My results kind of sucked before, but like I think it benefited a lot in the long run.
Yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
Because I saw that. So like once you picked up Ginyu, for example, like I noticed like you kind of went on the come up for a bit. Like you had placings over at Summer Jam, you had placings at Shine, and it kind of like until you kind of picked up Piccolo, and even then when you picked up Piccolo, you're kind of like one of the few Piccolos that a lot of people looked at because you were literally just hell zoning people to death. Like I remember you talking to me, and you were just like, "Why don't you hell zone? It's ridiculous."
Yeah.
And I was like, you know, it may be true, but yeah, it's kind and it kind of goes back, and even like when you like, because I remember you played a Fat Boo for a bit, and I'm kind of glad you're kind of sticking with Trunks Yamcha, because again, like you mentioned before, it's kind of meta defining because now a lot of people are doing it,
or rather, if it is good, so like if it's good, that means I am defining what the meta is rather than follow people, which would be nice.
Right.
I won't say that team is meta defining because I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just like if it does what I think it should do, then it should beat what people are doing, which is why I'm running it.
Now, I based on that statement, what is it that separates your teams from a lot of the other common shells right now? Like the Bardock, Super Saiyan Goku X character. What is the edge? What is your team doing better or different than those common shells right now that we're seeing elsewhere?
Well, I have Bardock, Trunks, Yamcha, so I control space differently than other people. I delete Vegeta and Vegito assist, which is nice. I have Yamcha, so like, funny enough, one thing that's interesting is like you could see how much someone understands my team based on who they snap. Because sometimes in longer sets, people are like, "Oh, I got snapped the problem."
Yeah.
So like when someone snaps in Yamcha, I'm actually like, "Oh, this guy doesn't get what I'm doing." But when someone snaps Trunks, I'm like, "Oh, like shit! Like he gets why I run this." Because the whole idea is like Bardock controls way too much space, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
normally already, but with Trunks, this is the idea I had of Majin Buu, but I think just Trunks does it better. Like they both their assists have these really big hitboxes where you could do movements where those hitboxes appear behind you. So that means like when Bardock is
Ooh,
standing in a
okay.
spot, he can go like he has a threat of oh fuck he's gonna come over and hit you, or like if you're in the air, I could call like I don't have to do the super dash call Gohan that everyone else does when they do that. Like I can be on the ground and be like, "Hey, check out my assist," and like someone in the air has to block, and I can run over with Bardock. That's
yeah.
probably like the main core of my team. The Yamcha, of course, gives mix up and stuff, easy mix up, easy combos, extensions, stuff like that. He has good comeback potential. He adds a shit ton of damage, so the team damage is really high. Because I have Bardock 1-1, I have Yamcha 1-3. Trunks just does a lot of damage in general.
Yeah.
I personally think that Super Saiyan Vegeta is not only the best assist in the game, but also really scrubby and annoying. So Trunks deletes him, which is nice. Trunks assists also stops people from moving certain ways that I think is I don't want to say scrubby necessarily, but it's just like pretty obnoxious and only good in this game.
Right.
So I can use Trunks and Bardock combined to stop it. It's basically like the team synergizes well. It deals with a lot of stuff that I don't like dealing with, and I think is annoying, and does a lot of damage, and has good mix-up.
I can definitely see like the way you're breaking it down. It makes a lot of sense, like in terms of space control and everything like that. And one of the big things when I talked to you previously, you mentioned valuing in a team is consistency.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel like this team's giving you the type of consistency you were looking for? Because I know you said that you were still kind of a miss before when you were looking at teams.
Yeah, I think so. This team right now, so the thing I'm thinking about right now is that this team gives me a lot of ideal games. So like, let's say an ideal game is like I win in about 100 seconds. The game actually shouldn't take long, right? The Dragon Ball actually shouldn't take long. Like I should win in about like 100 seconds or so.
Right.
Usually it should be like just my three characters alive. If a character dies, that's fine because like there's no bad combination of characters on my team, like two character combination on my team, so that's fine. So now I feel pretty consistent ish, not to the where I want to be.
Right.
But I generally like let's say New York area, I generally get like top 3 all the time and stuff like that.
Right.
So now I pay a lot of attention to my losses because my losses by definition are not ideal games. So I should be watching these games. Not even should be. I am watching these games extra carefully to see like what is the thing that stopped me, or like why did I lose or something. Because like I said, like a lot of my ideal games are like speed runs right now. Like you just like Bardock hits them, knock you down, something happens, you try to spark, my team's good against it. No, they try to spark, my team's good against it, or like I spark back, and then like blah blah blah. Like it's just quick flow chart.
It's really good.
Nice. Yeah.
Like one thing that like, and I've actually watched your stream when you're like you call them like the homework streams, like after NLBC and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And like you can't like I literally just see you sitting there like watching you like take down those mental notes.
Yeah.
It's really interesting to kind of see that state of mind where you want the game to run 100 seconds, and if you don't win in that 100 seconds, like what happened, like to cause that.
Yeah.
So it's a really good way.
It's more just like because like that's just the way the games look. Like there's a certain it's like I don't know, if you ever watch the match you're like wow like that was a speed run, like what the fuck was that.
Yeah.
And like that to me is like an ideal game.
Yeah, so, like commentating your sets, like you just blow people up, and like I barely get to do anything. Like I literally I'll like turn around, there's just 2 characters dead. I'm like, what just happened? Because you kind of you set the pace of the game. Like a lot of people try to set the pace of the game, and they kind of somewhat do it. When you're in that sort of, I guess, speed run element, even when they're blocking, they're still stuck. They're never setting their own pace at all, and you just kind of run them over. So I mean, I don't know. It's just very, very strong for the most part. Aside from that, I like that. I like your approach to the game in terms of you said I don't want to deal with Vegeta. I don't want to deal with these certain things, so I'm going to play a team that's going to counter and eliminate those specific problems. And I think that's the kind of mindset that a lot of people really don't take to this game. They play their team and they go, this is a problem, but they never really take any steps to address it. They just acknowledge it's sort of there. Where you've kind of crafted your whole game plan around eliminating certain things.
Yeah. Like, that's a really good point, too. Like, Vegeta isn't as prominent. Like, he's prominent on certain teams, like Hook's still playing him, for example.
He's
stuff
prominent
like that.
in, like, mid-high level. There's not that many top, like, let's say, like, international level people playing him. Like, Hook plays him. Noon, I think, runs him still. But he basically is like, if you want to break to, like, national level Dragon Ball, then you have to be able to fucking beat Vegeta.
That's
you
true.
have to. Because there are just people around that level, like double L level, who fucking play Vegeta, and like if you can't deal with Vegeta, you're done. And and like not being able to beat Vegeta automatically makes you inconsistent because he's gonna make the game random for you. Playing against him makes the game random.
Right.
You need something to beat him.
People
sleep on his assists.
Yeah, Fenrich also still on.
Fenrich, of course. Yeah, Fenrich, of course, would be another good example, international level.
Yeah. Also, shout out to Childish Vegito in the chat, holding it down. Thank you for tuning in, my guy. But yeah, that's definitely a good point. So you feel like Vegeta and like Vegito, those like diagonal assists are like kind of a big problem.
Vegito less so than Vegeta. Vegito is like good. So like Vegito, you'd have to worry about like if I was still playing Piccolo, I'd be really stressed out about Vegito. If I was still playing Point Ginyu, I'd be really stressed out about Vegito. Playing Bardock's like you don't have to be that stressed out about him. He is just in that group of assists. Vegeta is the best of that, like for free. But he's in that group. Like it's worth thinking about, but like your priority should be Vegeta.
Interesting. So you kind of categorize the assist into, okay, this is a Vegeta-like assist, and these are sort of the, like, watered down versions of that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I'm only saying watered down because, like, the way Vegeta specifically is good is, like Vegito and Vegeta both have really good assists, but like, Vegeta, like, you have to change your whole game to play against him, unless you play things that beat him or things that can hit both the opponent and that assist at the same time. While Vegito is like that style of assist too, but you don't use it quite like you can use it like Vegeta's, but you don't have that intent when you have him on your team.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Right. I think too. Also another random example because I know some people still do it. I know in my state, Carmine still does it. He's been playing Point Vegeta, which is a really interesting thing that we still see from time to time. So
I think it's mostly waste.
Yeah, I agree. I 100% agree with that. It's just like why, like I was talking to people about it. I'm like, why would you play Point Vegeta when literally you can play it? And then he has Bardock on the same team. I'm like, why just play Bart? Why not just play Bardock?
Why not play Bardock Vegeta? Yeah,
it's so good. It's
really fucking good.
It's a championship winning show. Like if you in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
So
it's very, very, very strong together. So you've dropped Ginyu for good at this point. I'm guessing, or is it still like it's not even like a tech pick at this point for you?
No, unfortunately, I'm sorry.
No, you know what?
Like, he's sad about it.
Look, it's like secondhand sadness for me.
Yo, realize JDiesel's will to play Ginyu.
Hey, but you know what's funny though? You had given me advice, which is like, look, if you're gonna keep playing the character, pick up Super Saiyan Goku and Bardock, put a stable shell, and I actually took your advice. And I did it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep the character. I'm gonna keep Ginyu because I won't drop him. I'm just not good enough to warrant it. And I took the two characters. I put them on, and it's been a much better. And it went to what you said, and I understood finally what you meant about consistency. Where when Ginyu doesn't do anything, I still have a shell that I can actually come back with. Like I have two characters who function well enough that it's like, wow, I can actually beat people. I can come back with this shell. I don't feel like the game's over just because I've lost my point character.
That's really important.
Yeah, and that was something I don't think I really had an appreciation for him until I did that. And another amusing bit about that is, so I switched to that team when you told me, which was about a month ago. 2 weeks after that, Aqua switched to the same team.
Yeah. I mean, so, because Aqua has always been kind of his own lane with Ginyu teams. It was where like Ginyu Gotenks Tian, Ginyu Gotenks 16. Ginyu Tien-16. He always ran shit like that. Soji was running Ginyu Bardock Goku, and Cho also ran Ginyu Bardock Goku. So like they all knew that was the best team. But like before, there was like other lanes for Ginyu. The only other lane I think that really exists for Ginyu is Ginyu Piccolo, but there's too much shit that beats it, unfortunately. Even though I think it's good. It's honestly like the main thing you can do with Ginyu now is either do like Ginyu Bardock. Well, first of all, you probably should just do Ginyu Bardock, and then it's like either Vegeta or Goku.
Yeah,
he doesn't have that much flexibility, unfortunately, as far as team builds, which kind of sucks.
Well, the other nice thing is having Bardock as a secondary, and I think this extends to more teams than just that. I think enough people don't utilize the starting a different character on point in your team, where because there are certain matchups for Ginyu that feel horrendous, like Vegito, like 21, where I'm just like, okay, I can't ever set up anything, so it's just going to get wiped away by Ki Blast. I'll just start Bardock sometimes.
Yeah, that's a good strategy.
Yeah, and I find it's a lot better, so that way I don't have to fight, because you can be good enough and just go, I'm just going to fight through the matchup anyway. Right. But just having the luxury to be like, Bardock, he'll take care of it. Just trade. That's all I want you to do, Bardock. Trade 1 for 1, and I'm happy. I'll take the 2v2. But fantastic advice. I just wanted to say that because fantastic advice from you. It made a big difference, but I think it really harkens back to this point of consistency that you were talking about before. Now, FloKey, I'm going to kick it over to you.
Oh, God. I was not expecting. So, one thing you did bring up was the idea of... the idea of having certain characters and certain lanes at this point in the game, as we're kind of moving more towards like Combo Breaker and like kind of the beginning of the season with the World Tour. How do you feel like it's not just Ginyu? Like, is that a multiple thing in the cast, or is that just like, or it just depends, or is everybody at this point should just run Bardock and just call it a day?
Oh, so I need more clarification, I think.
So you talked about before, like how like Ginyu, for example, was like kind of stuck in like one lane. Does that kind of like also branch out to other characters, or just Ginyu, in your opinion?
I don't think so. I guess no, I don't think so. Yeah, I think the design. I probably was talking about like the design of the character. Like they want you to do like specific things with the characters. I think. So I feel like this is a game where like most of the characters in the game, like there's like probably a best way to play them, and they're meant to like have like these functions that they should do. Pretty much. I think that's most characters. A lot of characters do have kind of similar-ish, like, oh, I'm relatively fast, I can move across the screen somehow, and like I rush you down. Like a lot of characters have that, but you can't blame it because it's Dragon Ball, right? It's source material, right?
Yeah.
But then like there's a few other characters where like they want to zone you, or like they have the Ginyu thing where he wants to like set up Ginyu Force and like he just does that, or like Vegeta, right? Vegeta's a good example. Like he wants to zone you, but like it's actually kind of zoning because you can't just force your way in on him.
Right.
But yeah, most characters have something like that where they have like one or two things where like that is what they do.
Right.
And like that's literally what they do. There's nothing else that they do.
That's good. That's a good point to bring up.
And
one thing, go ahead. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
No.
All right. Well, I was gonna say we had Rogue Yoshi on last week, and obviously you guys clashed recently at Go for Broke. And one of the big things he was talking about was optimization in this game, and a lot of people are talking about, oh, we're finally starting to see what Dragon Ball's final form is going to look like with no more patches. Like we're starting to see like the crystallization, I guess, of the meta in terms of how it's going to look as we go forward. Do you think that we're actually heading there? Do you think this is what the way Dragon Ball is played right now is what we're going to see in 6 months? Or do you think that there's still a lot of room for evolution? Yoshi indicates that he thinks people still don't almost know how to play the game because there's so much that's known or barely known but isn't really utilized. And he thinks once those things come in, like more OSs and things like that, it'll start impacting the game in a big way. And I wanted to hear your thoughts on this as another high-level player.
If you're talking about 6 months, I think the game would be played almost the exact same across almost all skill levels.
Okay.
Personally. At high level, probably, like, the top level of the game, probably differently. but it's because the best players of the game are always going to try to push that because they're trying to win, right? So it's natural that they will keep on changing the way the game is played.
Right.
As far as like you can't help you can't help but see optimization if they don't fucking change the game. Like you're gonna see the game get optimized. That's just gonna happen. And then as far as like so a lot of the option selects that Yoshi says he likes to use and stuff. So like there is information that of course is not like super common knowledge. A bunch of examples of that. That happens in every game. I think we're talking specifically about OSs. Like one thing is like so people in fighting games tend to get lost a lot. So like for example, my classic example is combo monsters. Combo monsters get lost. They get lost in combo.
Lost in the sauce.
Lost in combos.
Yep.
So the classic is Kazunoko's combos are whack. That guy literally won the world tour, and people will look at him and be like, his combos are not optimal. Is his combos not optimal? Sure. Actually, yes, they're not.
Yeah, they are not optimal.
Most basic combos on the planet.
But really think about why he chooses to not do certain combos. There's obviously a reason. Because as soon as they had that quote unquote easy leg loop for Gohan, right?
Yeah.
He fucking did it immediately. Why?
He picked it up.
Easy. It's easy. You don't want to mess shit up.
Consistency.
That's why he doesn't do fucking stupid combos. I know a bunch of stupid fucking combos in this game. I don't do them because I'm going to mess up, and then the guy's going to tech and kill me, and then I'm going to be tight. Instead, I do easy. When I kill someone in Bardock, people are like, man, that Bardock loop, man, that IAD loop you do in the corner is sick. When I'm going to definitely kill, I definitely just do like A, B, C, super dash, blah, 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 like easy as possible. Don't fuck up.
Okay.
Like that kind of stuff. So as far as like, so I always kind of thought Rogoshi was the type of player who gets too lost in like faux technicality, I guess, because like the game is like has like technical stuff that you have to know, but like it's like for example the shit he says about Dragon Rush and like how the tech window moves. And the tech window doesn't move. Like the issue is you can miss. Like I've told him this many times. You can miss the tech. If you tech the button, you only have a 7-frame window. So if you get put in blocks on, this would be an example of things that might not be common knowledge, right?
Okay.
So if you get put in blocks on and then someone Dragon Rushes you,
yeah,
right. So if you tech with Dragon Rush, you have the entire duration. Basically, it's like if two Dragon Rushes touch each other, you automatically tech the Dragon Rush. But if you tech with a button, any button, you only have 7-frame window, right? So a thing that you could do is like you put someone in block stun and do the Dragon Rush, right? So that the end of the Dragon Rush hits them as they exit the throw invisibility, and they tech visually, they will always miss the tech because if you since you have a 7-frame window, you can literally miss the tech window.
That's really
because it's not touching you. The Dragon Rush is not touching you because you have the throw invisibility.
Oh,
but he confuses it as like the window is getting moved, which is not the case. The case is you can literally miss the window.
That was the explanation exactly that we got last week.
Yeah,
in terms of that.
Yeah, he said you could move the window, right?
Yeah,
but
depending.
You can't move the window. It's not the window's moving. It's that if you tech with a button, you have a limited window in the first place. So you're doing it during a point where you can't even tech throws. Because you do it, you can't fucking tech the throw after.
That's true.
You have to tech that throw with Dragon Rush, or you have to move away, or like Mass Vanish or something. Where you can't tech with a button visually and then have it, because it's gonna hit you after the window where you tried to tech.
How do you tech Dragon Rush in match?
I tech many ways actually.
Okay, so this is the question I've been asking people because I've talked to a lot of different good players, and there's a lot of different answers. So I wanted to hear yours. So what is yours? Do you use DR most of the time? Do you use 2L? Like, what do you tend to use?
It depends. I use Dragon Rush. I use 2L. I use 2H. I use Vanish. I use Sparking. I use level 3. Yeah, those are probably the main ways.
Level 3?
Yeah, level 3 tech.
I've actually never heard of that one.
It makes sense if you think about it. It makes sense if you think about it. It's a button attack, so
you can blow them up. But yeah, no, like Sparking was definitely like, because when you list those off, Sparking was one of the like handful of ones. I was like, oh, what? Because like you're using a resource for that.
Yeah.
Or like that's weird. That's interesting. It's an interesting way of taking it because I know like a lot of people.
It's a pretty straightforward spot. Like think about like let's say like your character gets knocked 3, and you don't know whether they're going to like attack you or dragon rush you, and your
Right.
character's going to die, then a way you could hedge that is by teching with sparking.
Okay.
Not just sparking, teching with sparking. So like blocking and like looking, and then like shit, like then like delaying it. Yeah. There are times where the dragon rush will touch you and you spark, but like you don't spark, you actually tech because you hit it so late.
Oh, so it'll OS it almost.
Yeah.
Okay. Sparking
it actually
tech.
literally OSs it. It actually literally OSs it if you want to say it that way. Because if they don't dragon rush you, you spark. But if they dragon rush you, you tech. Or you might spark anyway because you did it like kind of early.
That's really interesting. I actually hadn't considered using that because it almost feels like risky. But if it basically OSs, I guess you are right. If you do hit early, because it'll just pop and it'll just kind of blow them back out of their dragon rush.
Yeah, it's just a hedge. It's just a hedge. It's just like you think you can defend, but you're not sure what's coming. So you could mostly have the intent to spark anyway. So it's just hedging. Like if you don't have to use that spark to survive that situation, then cool. But like if you tech or sparking and it techs, then you literally didn't use your sparking, which is nice. You still have it for the next situation.
Yeah, you have the
if you do spark, then okay, then your character's alive, and that's it. You just pick. Yeah,
that's interesting.
Vanish is just the same idea.
Well,
Vanish and level 3 are like similar ideas. Like level 3 is like I'm probably gonna level 3 anyway, so like why not hedge it and time it so like maybe I don't have to level 3 just depending on timing.
Yeah, not spend the bar and just have that window to do it. That's really wow. I'm the man that just like pray to God and I just tech with DR. I'm just like, man, if I see that green sphere, I'm in there because I'm just
to be fair, if I had to be like more honest about it, I would say that like DR, 2L, and 2H and fuzzy jump. I don't really count fuzzy jump that much, but those 4 I do often, and like vanish, level 3, sparking I do like much less. Like it's like pretty specific situations. Right. But the other 4 I do like rather often. Yeah. I mean, you only get 1 sparking a game, right? So.
Right.
Yeah. That's one thing, like, I see a lot. Like, today, for example, like, I saw, like, because me and Random Theme were going back and forth with Goku fuzzies for some ungodly reason. I don't know why. And it kind of brought up the idea of sparking versus not sparking. I was talking to him about it. And we've talked in the past about, like, using sparking offensively and defensively. Is it depending on situation for that, or do you like have an idea, like if you look at the matchup? So say if you're playing against like a Vegeta player, even though you Vegeta. So say if you're playing against Vegeta, right? And I know obviously your characters delete the character like 100%. But like, would you still consider like? Do you think about like going into that match with like, okay, maybe I should like be careful, maybe I should use the sparking defensively, or like, are you thinking about it offensively the entire time?
It's not by matchup really. It's more like what's going on.
Situational.
Yeah.
Situational.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of players think about it. Yeah, because I know a lot of people think of it differently. Like for me, for example, I'd rather not look at it as like, oh, I can extend a combo here and like maybe kill. Well, I look at like, okay, I need to make sure my characters stay alive because certain like either matchups or like the situation I'm currently in like would deem that. So it's like I'm more of a defensive sparking person. Like I know, like listen, I've seen plenty of TODs. Fenrich is clearly bored. This man has made so many TODs with other characters and teams, it's ridiculous. So it's one of those things that like I know like has a conversation behind it. Speaking of a conversation behind it, we saw and I want to move topics a little bit. We saw the release of a little rat named GT Goku this week.
Cool.
And there's a plenty of streams that you guys could check out that broke it down. LK stream did do a breakdown as well.
Yep.
Over on twitch.tv/LordKnight. Got it right, I think. How do you feel about GT Goku? And I'll post this to Jay as well.
He's okay.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. He is a character that's made for the Dragon Ball Fighter scene purely.
Right.
Because everything he has is stuff that people want in a character. So he's okay.
Yeah.
And if people play him long term, it's going to be because he has that level 3. That's it.
Really? You think that's the only reason? Wow.
That's I mean, it's a decent point. Like, Spirit Bomb's ridiculous. Like, even or in the lore sense, like, you have that Super Saiyan 4. So I kind of see where where you're coming from.
Oh, it's just because people are like really. This is the thing. Like, this is why I say that. Like, so he has a 2L low. He has a move specifically designed for him to do mix up, right? He has the orb, right?
Yep.
But you can see how it's also carefully designed. How it's like hard to do high low mid screen. It's really easy to do high low in the corner, right?
That's true.
But he has high low, so people are happy. And he has the level 3 knockdown due to a bajillion plus frames into high low and cross up, so people are happy. People like that stuff. There are people who look me in the eye before I play them, and they say Trunks has no mix up, and I go, okay. I proceed to mix them to death. Like as a normal player, I've done the same mix up. Like, I haven't actually crossed anyone up with Trunks for a month. Like, I just do same side over and over. Because you can't help, but he has no mix up, but he has he somehow hits you on the same side over and over.
Okay.
Yeah. But GT Goku has a 2L low, so that's what people like. That's why people will play him for the 2L low and the level 3. That's it. And they might actually like him. But besides people who like him, because I like him.
He's fun.
He's a fun character.
He's got a smug little face. I like that. I like his smug little smile. But as far as tournament people or people who want to build a team to try to win with him, they're literally gonna have him there for. Because it's really good. It's the best level 3 knockdown in the game, unquestionably. Right now, unquestionably best.
Wow. I mean, I feel like this was they really delivered with this character.
That's true.
In terms of I was a little skeptical when I first saw him because I was like, okay, he's short. That either means he's going to be Krillin or he's going to be Gotenks. That was my first thought when I saw a short character, and it feels like they really did properly address it. The power pole normals seem interesting. I still can't really gauge how good they actually are.
I think they're bad.
You don't think they're good?
Slow. They're slow.
I think
they are slow. That is true.
The issue, I think, with, let's say, 5S is that Jiren has that same 5S, but it goes full screen and Jails to vanish. But then his doesn't go full screen and has gap.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And they're similar speed. So why do you give that to Jiren but not him?
Yeah.
Besides, Jiren is the strongest in the universe. You needed a better reason than that.
That makes sense. He's like a Waida.
Yeah.
That's all he about. But yeah, no, I agree with that. I was messing around. I was messing around with GT Goku, and I just felt like the character. Yeah, I saw that level 3 with Dragon Fist, and that Oki's really strong. But I feel like the character, longevity wise, is gonna be an interesting spot. I mean, his assist is super strong. Having that angle is ridiculous, and plus it's a beam, in a sense. So it kind of can. I think it might do okay against Vegeta.
I mean, it's literally a beam. It's not kind of a beam. It's literally a beam.
But I feel like it'll have a decent match potentially against characters like Vegeta. Again, Texas Showdown, which is past, didn't allow GT Goku, so we couldn't really see much this weekend. Also, real quick, we want to give me and Jay want to give a quick shout out to Doza and Pivot Ace.
We
who
both
got top 8.
I'm really proud of both of you guys. We actually had both Doza and Pivot Ace not too long ago. The Super Saiyan God energy out here, and to see both of you guys make top 8 was absolutely phenomenal. Watching that live, I was losing it. It was bring the also. People could not believe that 17 reading the Twitch chat while 17 was out was just killing me. So this is the worst character in the game. How did he get here? And I was just like, oh my god,
so good. It's just it becomes for me it becomes more of not the character but the player that's controlling.
It's not even a case of first of all, there's not really bad characters in this game. They did a good job of about 90% of characters are good. And 80% of the assists are good. So there's that. But people always skip character unfamiliar. If you take a player who's good and a character who's not good, and then play that character against people who don't play against that character because the character is bad, they're going to win games. They're just going to. You're going to get okie dokes. It's weird animation. The first time I fought 17, I'm like, what the fuck? This guy's spinning a lot. And what is he doing? And then he's just in on you. He builds a lot of meter. That's one of his really good things. He builds a lot of meter. So either you die by accident, I don't know how, I don't want to say by accident, but you die to stuff that you don't know.
Right.
I'm saying it the way I say it to myself, right? And I shouldn't say it like that.
Die by
We gotta at Pivot Ace next time you kill my character by accident.
Yo, man, you die by accident.
That's when I watch my VODs. So sometimes I'm like, you literally like I watch my own VODs. I'm like, wow, you like. I would be like, this is like honest shit. Like I'll watch sometimes and I'll see like, oh, why did Bardock die? Did I get mixed up? No. Did he out neutral me? No. What happened? Did I got literally hit by some okie doke bullshit, or I died by accident, like literally by accident. Like I don't like some shit happen because sometimes Dragon Ball some shit happen. Sometimes people mix me up and I die, and sometimes I get out neutral. But like that's just like for me watching my VODs, like because when I watch V vs Jazz Rap, I played Jazz Rap actually for the first time like November.
Yeah.
He plays 17, and I remember just watching the 17, and I'm just like, I have no idea what any of these things are. And after labbing for like 10 minutes, the worst feeling is like watching yourself boost a character, going to training mode for 10 minutes, and being like, wow, it was all fake, or like I could.
That's me.
Yeah,
That's
it feels really bad. It feels really bad.
I had that happen with
terrible
Beerus. I had that happen with Beerus the other day. He kept setting up the ball in my face, and I was like,
but you don't know.
I didn't know, and so I kept letting him get away with it.
So like one of the old 17, I don't know if it works still, but one of the old things about 17, probably the most important point about 17 before the character patch is that he's super weak to guard cancel. I don't know about now, but before he was super weak to guard cancel. But if you don't know that, then he's gonna spin and spin and spin, and he's gonna fucking do the barrier in your face. You don't know what you're gonna do. Yeah. But so what I meant to say is you're going to get hit by stuff that you are not familiar with.
Right.
You're not going to die by accident. That guy, the person you're playing, is definitely doing it on purpose. What's happening is you're going to die to stuff you're not familiar with, and then you're either going to be upset and do something about it, which would be nice. You're going to say they're really good, which is probably like 80% true, and then or you are just going to be like, this character is secretly OD, which is what you don't want to do. The third thing you definitely don't want to do.
Secretly OD.
You want to do something about the L, you gotta at least get the other guy credit, and then you want to do something about the L. You don't want to just say the character's OD just because you lost a guy who's good who plays an uncommon character.
Oh, that character's just it's sleeper tech. It was all sleeper tech. That's what I lost to.
Yeah. It's like how when people get owned up by Luigi, that's another. It's like you have no idea what he's doing, and like the person who's playing him definitely knows what they're doing. It's just the question is the stuff fake or not? You don't know, so you don't play against it.
Yeah, I've seen that happen with Double L. Well, where people will be like, I don't know. Double L's just OD. I don't know why I lost. And I'm just like, if you go back and watch, he was like moving you around the screen and controlling what was going. It may look random, but it's like you said, LordKnight. It's like there's intentionality behind most players' actions. Now, granted, sometimes some people will just randomly super dash or but they thought at the time that's what I should do. Mm-hmm. There might not be much more depth than that. Like it might be, I should check him. Let me just check him. Let me raw level 3 here and see what happens. Like, but I don't know. It's interesting because a lot of players, especially mid-level players, I feel get caught in that trap of I got beaten by a character that I don't really understand. My opponent was just, and then they say my opponent was just really good, or that character is cheap, and then they never actually learn the matchup.
Address it, they never address it.
Yeah, there's one person I know who their weakness by is Android 21.
Yeah, that's a lot of people's weakness.
They lost early on in their career to a bunch of Android 21s. They're like, that character's whack, and it was like, okay, fine. And then time went on, there wasn't too many 21s, so it wasn't a problem. Now there's like 4 or 5 Android 21s in their scene. Yeah. And now it's a big problem. And I'm like, you have two choices. You can either keep saying the character's whack, or you can figure out what to do against the character. Because that character's not going away. You have to learn how to deal with it, or you're going to keep getting mixed, and you're going to keep giving the same excuse. And then what's going to happen? You're not actually going to go anywhere.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So.
And I kind of agree with that. Like, a lot of shells, too, are very underexplored in that regard as well. Like it might be one character, it might be 2 characters. Pivot Ace, again, referencing him from this weekend, he was playing Vegeta 17 Yamcha. Now obviously no one's really gonna know that matchup, so it's kind of like one of those things where it's like you're gonna get like okey-doked potentially, but as well as Pivot Ace is really strong with those characters. So like it blends in both.
Mm.
Another example of that is my team. Nobody on this planet knows how to deal with Gohan Piccolo. Surprise, because no one plays it. Everyone just wants to play Bardock.
Well, that one's a more straightforward one because, like, yeah, maybe no one plays those two together, but definitely people play Gohan and definitely people play Piccolo.
Yeah. So it's weird to see the two together. So it's
if you run into me, I'm like, yeah, okay, he has Piccolo, he has Gohan.
We played a lot, and like, so you know exactly like.
But what I'm trying to say is, it's not the shell. It's not like, oh, what is the shell going to do? Like Piccolo is going to do orb. Gohan, I'm going to jump. He's going to super dash. Called Gohan. That is the two characters. Because for example, I can say the same thing. It's probably more extreme with my team than yours. Like the Trunks Yamcha. Like it's probably more that not enough people play Trunks. More than
that
else.
I agree on that statement.
More than anything else. But as far as the Piccolo Gohan, or like another example would be like if someone plays like Gohan Goku, like Grover, right? Like Gohan Goku, like not common combination, but you definitely know what Gohan does. You definitely know what Goku does. You know what both assists do, and you know what, like if he has Goku on point and you jump, he's gonna super dash at you and call Gohan. Like it's pretty.
So it's kind of like more of a basis. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah. So when you have the base, even if the combination is odd, like Grover actually is a great example. So he plays. Here's like pop quiz. He plays Grover. He plays Gotenks, Gohan, Goku.
Okay.
Right? What character should he kill first on a team? Do you think?
Oh God.
Gotenks.
Actually, okay. Gohan.
I have two answers personally. I think it should be Gohan or Goku, not Gotenks.
Really, not Gotenks.
Probably Gohan before them two. And Gohan, that would sound weird, except that if you know, because I played Gotenks Goku before, and I mean Gotenks nerfs aside, Gotenks can't do any fucking mix up of Goku mid screen.
Not truth.
Okay, that makes sense.
He can't do any mix up of Goku mid screen. One.
Truth.
Oh, my fat boy in the
want
chat. Sorry. One of the people in the chat actually says they play this team, and they were talking about how they lose so much damage as potential as well.
Yeah. It's not even damage I'm thinking of. It's just like Gohan gets mixed from both of them.
Right.
He gets mixed from both of them. Goku has no mix up, and Gotenks is extremely limited. And normally you would go for the neutral assist, Goku, but the threat level of Gohan is the highest generally. Okay. So
that makes sense.
The ideal match would be that you kill Gohan first, probably. Goku is like an ideal second.
That was the
pretty hard
ever.
Yeah, I mean, I just got it wrong, so I mean, like it was.
I was like, I'm just finishing up college. I'm like, I'm gonna say
one more question.
People's hands. I'm like, I got LK's quiz right. I'm feeling good.
There you go.
But yeah,
that's important though, and I definitely kind of see what you mean. Like now that I think about it more, yeah, it does make sense because the other two Gotenks Goku is not a good shell. It doesn't.
It's like it's just if they have just Gotenks Goku left, you're not
scared.
You're not.
Yeah.
Scared.
Honestly,
he literally can't mix you up mid-screen. They can't mix you up mid-screen. Besides like basic system stuff like 6M, Goku Beam, shit like that. Like there's nothing you have to really worry about when it's those two. When Gohan's attacking you, both those characters, he fucking is unseeable 50 all day. So it's like you better have needed a fucking guard cancel.
Yeah, makes sense. Actually, so another gotta pose it to you because you actually brought it up yourself, LordKnight. Goku opening people up. The character with no mix, quote unquote.
Oh God! Are you bringing it up?
No. Well, I want to ask why is it that Goku, and I think more than any other character without a 2L, opens people up left and right? What is it about that character that even at the highest level, that character gets so much mileage?
Well, most of the time is that people just don't want to block, and they just get hit. Myself included. Like if the set gets too long, like I see it like sometimes. I'll say it not the way I tell, but like I get impatient.
Right.
You get impatient, right? But outside of that, that's probably the main one. His level 3 knockdown is still quite good. Also, he can hit you. He can actually mix you up, but most people don't get hit by mix-ups from him. Most people just get hit by accident because they get impatient. myself included. I get impatient sometimes. When I'm patient, I don't get hit.
That's true. That's very true. That's a very good point. That's a very good point. I mean, there's still there is forbidden mix still, which
it's forbidden. And we
it's
it's
I thought Jay was gonna bring it up, and I was like, oh no.
Yeah.
Like I don't even know about it, and every time I see it, ULK, I'm like, this dude knows something that no one truly knows. Does anybody know the forbidden mix?
The forbidden mix.
Yourself?
I don't even know. Definitely there are people out there who know, but
what you've got sub goal for forbidden mix?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's one of the sub goals, and it's like kind of a meme because it's kind of like a high-ish sub goal.
Yeah.
The actual joke was once I get close, I was gonna like push it up. There actually is a forbidden mix of Goku. There actually is a forbidden mix.
Is it good or is it meme?
It's unseeable.
Oh my god!
You can't defend it. You can't defend it. Actually, at the World Tour Finals, the Japanese players, this is where the story came from. The Japanese players had a bunch of tech hidden for the tournament, and they had a bunch of Goku shit. And then, I, with a little help from my BB boy SKD, we found a similar style of mix-up to what they were doing, and they saw me first of all. They saw me play one of the Japanese players, and I did it to them. And then they watched me play casuals, and then one of them was like, "Who taught you that mix-up?" Because they wanted to. It was like one of their secrets.
Wow.
This style of mix-up.
So you stole Japanese tech without?
No, it's not stealing. We just didn't know. I didn't know
that.
I was like, oh, I'll use this. This is good. Now Goku can fucking hit people.
Yo, Japan's like, LK knows too much.
I got hit with that at the House of Crack too. I did this mix-up at House of Crack once, and they were like, he stole Coach Steve's secret mix-up, and I was like, I just fucking came up with that in my house.
Yeah,
what the fuck?
Legit.
I just came with that in my house. Like, you can't
stay on it.
That's why there's no point in hoarding mix, because at some point somebody else will just randomly stumble onto it.
Except for the forbidden mix, it cannot be discussed. The best thing you could do is just steal the Japanese level 3 mix because you're close, but you're not at Nirvana yet.
You're not there. You haven't fully ascended.
You're not there.
Challenge Vegito says he knows.
He doesn't. He definitely doesn't know. He definitely doesn't know.
Yo, that's an F. Yo, can you press F to pay respects?
Press F to Vegito.
No, but yeah. No, but I agree with that. Like a lot of times, like a lot of people ask, like for me, right? Like a lot of people ask me about like Gohan Piccolo mix and stuff like that.
I love you, chat.
It's that, and I'm like, I explain to them, and they're like, what? And I'm like, well, here's practically how you do it, and it's just like it's interesting. Speaking of interesting, kind of need a segue. We need a segue because Jay, Xbox messed up.
Xbox did mess up.
Can we talk? I think we need to talk about
Major Nelson. After all these years, unfortunate. So now, Janemba. Are you excited? How do you feel about Janemba? Okay.
I don't know who he is.
That's right.
All I know is that if he's broken, I'll play him. That's all I know about him.
Well, he has a sword.
Okay. But just because Trunks has a sword doesn't mean I'll play him because he has a sword. It's not that easy.
He's a villain. He has a sword. I'm really praying it's not Fat Janemba. I'm really praying. He is the most annoying character.
Dragon Ball characters sound so whack. Like fat this character, skinny this character, level. What the? Like that shit is so. I hope it's not Fat Janemba. No, what if it's Kid Janemba? Oh, maybe it could be Galaxy 6 Janemba.
Oh, sorry.
Fuck? You can't always like Janemba.
The thing is, right? The reason why I bring that up is because there's some characters in this game I cannot listen to on English or Japanese setting. So my worry, right, is if they put Fat Janemba in, no matter what, I am just gonna hear the most annoying character. And he's going to be the biggest body known to man.
Teleport character, sword normals.
He gets fuzzied. if he's broken, I'll play him. Basically, if I'm like, hey, I'm really interested. If you start hearing me say about how interesting he is on Twitter, then you know he's broken. If you see me playing in a tournament, then he's definitely broken.
Well, I was gonna say that's the actual line for you though, right? If he makes it into tournament, I know the character's truly broken. Yeah. So I don't know if it was you, okay, but I am all. Do you play on PC at all?
No.
No.
No, I barely may play. I barely. I'm lucky enough that I could play offline. Like,
I guess that makes sense because I played someone who I even sent you a message because I was.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, that's the thing. I didn't see that until.
Yeah, I was so convinced that it was you. They played your exact team, right? And then I went and I looked. I was like, wow, that's really interesting. I'm like, they also sandbagged down to their Yamcha twice intentionally to run it back. They let their first two characters die for free so they could 3v1 me with Yamcha. That's why I was convinced it had to be you.
That's OD.
Oh,
that's
no. I would just pick. You can't do that online, right?
No, they can't. You can't just pick one character. So they just let two die. So I was like, and then I went through their recent teams, and they were playing a Fat Boo team, which I know you were. I'd watch your stream, and you were talking about recently, and I'm like, it's got to be LK. All signs point to him.
This is conspiracies.
Is it conspiracy?
If not, you have a twin. You have a twin online out there somewhere.
You know what? It's probably my older brother. Have you seen him on Twitter? It might be that guy.
All those photos are cursed.
They're all cursed.
Oh my god.
The dude one is like
out.
The last one is definitely cursed. The girl one is like kind of cursed, but that's also just my face, kind of.
That's true.
Like it's just kind of my. I took a picture and I was like, honestly, only the hair is cursed.
Yeah.
The dude one is kind of cursed.
Yeah. There is a handful of people. I'm not gonna call them out because Lord knows they're watching.
They're definitely watching.
Oh god, there's so many people that they're so cursed. Like,
they're so cursed.
I literally texted one of my friends.
Yeah.
Like, it popped up in my timeline again. I
Oh,
literally
no.
had to tweet at him. I'm like, I am so sad that I had to see this cursed image twice in one day. It was Kazuki Kaze. I'm sorry.
Oh. The Snapchat filter?
Yeah, that was cursed.
Shit.
Oh god, who else? There's so many people that were just cursed. Chalice Rosito says T-Wong. T-Wong is definitely cursed. His was definitely cursed. Is there anybody you want to name that you want to?
No.
Yeah. Is there anybody that you want to? Is there anybody that was super cursed that you need to like raise awareness on?
Honestly, I only saw Nakios, and there was somebody who was cursed because they did the girl filter.
Yeah.
And like the face, I was like, whoa, this is like a girl, like for real. And then, but like he has a full beard normally, but you can't see the beard only on the neck. So like, yeah, when you scroll down a little bit, you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, you're just like, oh no, it's like busted. You messed up big time.
Yeah.
It's definitely weird. One thing, also, guys, if you guys have questions for the panel, myself, LordKnight, or JDiesel, please throw them in chat. I'm taking a look at that from time to time. But yeah, that's cursed. Like, honestly, the girl and the guy filters need to be stopped. Like, I need a like.
They're fun though.
They are, but they need to be like. Yeah, that's true.
I mean, that whole app is cursed, so honestly.
I mean,
yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw that did you just install Snapchat so you could use? Also, I went ahead and turned off Nightbot for a second since it's being wonky today. So
it's being cursed.
It's all cursed. It's all Snapchat's cursed. Nightbot's cursed. It's all cursed. There's no escape.
There's no escape. Hellzone grenade. What?
So another quick question, actually. Okay. Mid stage with you know the trunk steering wheel, right? The EX flip where you you guide him left, right. If you use Yamcha assist into EX flip, is it a true 50-50 or is it reactable?
Yes, no mix up.
Best answer.
Oh my goodness.
Best answer. Wow.
Or if you or you should probably ask people who played me, not me, because as far as I'm concerned, he has no
Yeah, right. Like clearly, this character has no.
Yeah.
Oh my god. We actually did have Sage for episode 3.
Yeah.
He did brief about Trunks for a bit, so it's nice to have another Trunks
I'm
player.
definitely the worst person to ask about Trunks.
Listen. Damn. Blow up your own state, why don't you? Wow.
No. Sage is of course my homie, right?
Yeah.
He helped me get back up to speed. Like he's been playing Trunks the whole time. I played Trunks when the game came out.
Yep.
To be fair, but he's been playing Trunks the whole time.
So you were able to like
a lot of stuff. Yeah, he caught me up a lot with stuff. I kind of figured out some of my own stuff. Like he's really cool. He like pushes the character.
Yes.
There's a lot of stuff that he does that you're just like when you look at it conceptually, you're like, fuck, this is really cheap. Like I've used a couple of his mix-ups. They're really, really fucking stupid, but they're also really hard to do.
Have you seen his actually forbidden corner mix?
Is it the one where he does the falling jump heavy and he like yeah, I've used that on people.
Yeah,
yeah, it's super stupid. It's really, really stupid.
It's like I was playing against him at the last Xanadu monthly, and we were like talking for a long time. And he's like, "You want to see something forbidden?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. It's not gonna be really forbidden." And then I see it, and I'm like, "Oh my god, this is!" I was like, "What the hell did you just do to me? How did that hit me?" And he just starts laughing, and I was just like, "Sage, you madman! What the hell, man?"
That mix-up is the only issue I have with difficult to do consistently.
Right.
The one thing about Trunks is like you literally have to control the flip. So you might think that like a standard player might think the merit of his mix-up is low because like a normal, let's say like old Kid Buu, just for the sake of example, you literally just do like 5 heavy, 2S assist, high low, boom, easy. You get it every time. Right. But Trunks, so you have a lot of stuff you have to work around when you explore mix-up with him because he first of all, since he doesn't have a 2 low, any case of him doing high low, you have to like really build out the situation and make sure that you can fucking hit them because he can't do the standard high lows that other characters can. He doesn't have 2 low. That's one. 2 is that most of the time you're going to be aiming for left-right mix-up. So in this game, not only do you have to worry about the normal protection, but you also have to worry about vanish and 2H/jump. 2H and jump. The jump's 4 frames. 2H 4 frame head and roll, right? So you need to make sure that your left-right mix-up is not only somehow visually ambiguous, but also has the right timing so that they can't vanish you or 2H you or jump. They get out jump. So and somehow have a input that's easy to, which I somehow kind of did, even though he has no mix-up. He has no 2L.
Yeah,
but I managed to do it somehow. Yeah, he has zero mix at all.
You're right. Just 0. Now, while Trunks obviously has no mix, he does set up for one interesting piece of mix, which we've actually talked about with some other guests. Trunks' assist into Dragon Rush.
Cool.
How reactable is it? Is it reactable?
If you do it right, it's unreactable.
Okay.
In my opinion. Because Dragon Rush 17 frames, I think the order here is like, I forget, but it's pretty deep. So the main thing is like, you can't see. You literally can't see. The defender has to act without seeing. The definition of unreactable, right?
True.
So it's like, they have to choose to mash me as soon as, and you could deal with Trunks' assist too. As soon as they block Trunks' assist, people are mashing, or they're holding up, or they're already reflecting, like they're already doing something. Because they know the way they designed the assist is has a little but there's 10 extra frames of animation after the block stun.
Wait, the block stun's already over while the while he's still there?
While the animation is continuing, yeah.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's always been like that.
I did not know that.
That's why I can't see shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's a really good question. One question that we have from the chat, Deimos asks, what would your philosophy be when it comes to
take a shit before you play.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and then like if you have like something you can look at, like a waifu or like a poem or like I don't know, whatever makes you feel better, and that helps. And then I mean, you remember the Onesan squad from last year before I started Discord? That was that whole idea. It was partly a joke, but like
Right.
That calms you down. If your friends are there, just talk to them. That's very nice.
That's true.
Definitely take a shit. I'm saying it twice because
It definitely
then,
emphasis.
like do easy combos. That helps.
Really?
Yes. I imagine doing a hard combo when your hands are shaking uncontrollably.
That's very true.
Where you have to do a lot of links, a lot of one-frame links. Air dash cancels, like jump installs, and whatever hard thing you can think of in a fighting game. And also, bonus, your hands are shaking uncontrollably.
Yeah.
You think you can do it, and you only have one try. If you mess up, you're going to lose.
Yep.
Yeah.
Can you do it? You know what I do? I fucking do auto combo. I would do I'll do some easy shit. I would do some easy shit. I would do like the most basic combo. When my hands are shaking, easy shit.
Okay. Also, you're one of the few people that I constantly water or tea around you at a constant basis. Do you have do you prefer one or the other, or do you is your always go to tea or whatever?
It's tea right now. Green tea right now.
Green tea
right now. Yeah.
I've been loving tea. If there's a Starbucks or anything nearby, I love doing a nice black tea before I play.
Black tea's a little bit too much caffeine for me still for playing. I get Dragon Ball. You can't get too emotional when you play, or angry, or uppity or anything.
Right.
So the less caffeine, the better. I still like the little caffeine bump, but the more tweaked up I am, I feel the more that's a good word. The more irate I react to things. Right. I guess. So
that makes sense.
So green tea, no calories, tastes good.
Mm-hmm.
It's half the caffeine that black tea.
Right.
So I could have more than one, and it's okay.
That's the tea tech.
Yeah, that's my personal. And then of course water for hydration.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna dehydrate drinking tea.
Well, I mean that's supposing the venue has water. So I mean,
No, I bring my own water.
Oh, actually prepared.
Fiji, water bottles and shit.
Fiji.
Fiji's the way.
Wow. High-end water too,
man. I love me some life water.
Is it spring water or is it purified?
It is.
If it's purified, it's automatically bullshit.
Let me get back to you on that. Yeah. Actually, I will get back.
Hold on.
Okay, I got a water bottle.
Hold on. I'm gonna Google this right now. We're doing.
I was about to say, did you say life water?
I said life water.
Oh, let's see it.
Life water is. I love life water, but I totally agree with you.
You can like it. It's just bullshit if it's purified. You can like whatever you want.
I'm about to
You can Piccolo,
get blown up.
Life water.
This is about to be the true mix up of the night. This is the Trunks got no mix. But I do like the art because the art's really appealing on Life Water. Also other stuff. But yeah, no, Life Water is bottled tap. What are you talking? Oh yeah.
Oh.
God. Why
wait. But where's the tap from? Where's tap? If it's New York tap, you have hope.
I actually don't know. That's something I actually will. I will do research and I will get back to you. And I will tweet you a nice 140 character explanation. I'm like, hey. So after doing some research, here is a quick.
Okay, it's bottled in. Let's see, Maryland and Pennsylvania.
Dude, you drink some bullshit water, dude.
Damn it!
You drink some bullshit.
But then I blow up the entire state of Dragon Ball, so it makes no sense.
Oh well, it depends. It depends where yours gets bottled because there's also Michigan. You've also got Michigan.
You blew up the entire state of Pennsylvania and Dragon.
No, I'm saying Connecticut. No, my state. Not my state. Listen,
no, I was gonna say.
If I can go listen, if I was able to travel as much as I want to, I'd feel better, going to fun around and potentially going to CEO and stuff like that.
You should try to become the best at a poverty game so you can get the money from that and use it to travel for Dragon Ball.
Yo, LK with the real FGC tech out here.
That's actual tech. I actually low-key picked up BB Tag potentially for that reason.
Oh, maybe pick something easier. That game is too random. That game is too random.
Wait. So my options are. So here's my options.
Play Melty.
I
wouldn't play Melty. He's not gonna win Melty.
No. You don't believe in your boy FloKey? I wanted Melty.
You wanted Melty?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you did play. Yeah, you did win a Melty. Do you still enter Melty?
No.
No, too much.
I don't want to. Well, I don't want to play like more than 2 games at a time right now.
Okay.
And also, honestly, I don't really have anything to prove in Melty Blood. I think
That's true. That's a very good point.
I don't think like someone could be like, you can't beat this person. Like, who cares? Like, I don't have anything to prove.
I was in the room at final round when LK gave the beautiful speech about bathroom Melty Blood.
That shit gets me so tight.
I was there for that, and
that's like how dare you?
Okay, so I talk about. I didn't get much context on this.
Oh, so basically, like, there's a long running joke. So when I started playing Melty, bottom of the barrel game, like really knowing the most popular game when I started playing was Third Strike and Marvel vs. Capcom.
Yeah, I did get the memes. I have seen the memes for Melty Blood.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is like, so when SF4 came out and like quietly esports crept up and stuff.
Yeah.
And like my friends and I, because I basically started fighting games with my friends from here pretty much. My best Melty Blood friends is a guy I literally know like 9th grade, and then someone I met online but through Melty Blood in New Jersey. They're like my two of my best fighting game buddies. And we were like, you know what'd be funny? Everyone thinks that the game is poverty. That's like we'll make up like a clan. We'll call it like Dollar NJ Dollar. Like we'll buy like fucking, because everyone dresses like bums at fighting game tournaments. So we'll buy some fucking stupid ass clothes, like office clothes or some shit. We'll play and we'll talk a lot of shit, and it's gonna be dope.
Okay.
So we try to reverse the image of the game being poverty, literally.
Yeah.
Right? Literally, and it was fun and it was cool. But then, like, and it was actually going for a little bit. I was like, oh shit, like we're actually
okay.
Like, yeah, the game's not popular, but like they're not doing like these types of jokes about it anymore.
Yeah,
right.
Love the game, but especially when we stopped playing, it flipped the other way, like way hard. And people were like, yeah, we're going to play outside. We're going to play in our Arizona desert. We're going to play in this fucking bathroom. And then it just turned into like Carmen Sandiego-esque, where can we play Melty Blood? But never anybody cool. It's always like some bullshit, like in a sewer, playing Melty Blood in the Resident Evil 2 sewer, like some bullshit. And I really fucking hate it because, first of all, the game's good.
Yeah.
Second of all, I don't think like it's cool. It's like, I get why. It's like, no one plays our game, LOL. Our game sucks, LOL. But like, come on, that shit is so fucking played out. How you're gonna do that to the game you love? Like, that's your favorite fucking game, and you're gonna call it like a literal dumpster game. That's why I don't like the shit with Uni when it's all about like the anime. Like, I get it, you're horny. I fucking get it. You're really horny and you want to drink your anime wife with bathwater. That's fine, but don't define your game by that, dude. Don't do that shit. Don't do that. It's not fucking. Don't do that, dude. If the Dragon Ball equivalent would be like, I don't even know what that shit is.
Okay, if people cosplayed their characters in tournament, though, that would actually be... If Hook came as Piccolo, and, like, Double L came as Ginyu...
That's just like, giggly funny.
Right, like, that'd be fun, right?
It'd have to be... It's a style of, like... It's kind of what the BB Tag players have been saying recently, a couple of them. They're like, yeah, don't fucking degrade... Like, yeah, maybe the game's not the best technical game, but like the people who literally put all their time in the game can't be sitting around saying the game's trash.
And actually,
and that's the equivalent. That's the equivalent,
No, that makes a ton of sense. And actually, that echoes the very popular sentiment recently from that ninja. I'm sure you've all seen that clip that has circulated around where he's like, games die when the faces of that game spend all their time talking about how bad their game is.
That's true.
Because if that's all your front-facing opinions, and I think Dragon Ball actually suffered from this for a while, where a lot of people were talking about how the game was whack, blah, blah, blah. I think it's more or less dissipated at this point. I think the people...
I remember that. I think that thing is just like the natural progression of a new mainstream fighting game, because like it's actually like, it might sound counterintuitive, but like it's like having like, oh, this game sucks or whatever, while people are still entering, like many people are entering, has big tournaments. It actually just tells you that it's just a mainstream fucking fighting game.
That makes sense. Big enough audience.
It's just mash on their shit in whatever game they're playing anyway. So like, it's so hard to satisfy. You can't satisfy everybody. Yeah. Right. So your goal is just like, be as big as you can, get as many people. Yeah, there's gonna be some haters. Who cares what fucking Naruto fan 6ix9ine says? He's a master anyway. Like, as long as they got the money, as long as the company gets the money and like tournaments are happening, who gives a fuck?
Right.
Naruto 6 fine. That nigga's a master. I played him, dude. He's a master. I already know. Who cares what he thinks?
One question from Childish Vegito. LK, are you playing Grand Blue?
Yes.
Wow, without hesitation. Did you sign up for the beta?
Yes.
Okay, easy question. I think that game has the potential of like, again, like having that, like what you said before. It's like has that potential of being a mainstream game, and just like there's a lot of hype about it right now. I don't know a damn thing about Grand Blue.
You want to learn about Grand Blue? Follow at Lost Relic, that's Lost Soul, on Twitter, and just look at his tweets.
Okay.
You will learn a lot about Grand Blue.
That's the tech. Yeah, I've learned so much tech from LK today. If there's anything I've gained from this podcast, is take a shit before you play. Drink a lot of water,
No, but not life water.
Drink Fiji.
Drink Fiji water.
It doesn't have to be Fiji water.
Drink anything but life water.
It has to be. Where does it say it on here? So any not bullshit water.
So it's got to be spring water, right?
Spring water. It's gonna say like artisan water or spring water. If it says purified water with minerals added after blah blah blah, it's literal bullshit. They might as well have pissed in that bottle, and you fucking bought it. That's crazy.
I'm so
don't
sad.
do that. Like Dasani is water where they take the minerals out. I don't even know why they do this, but they basically take the minerals out and then they put it back in after. And that water tastes like shit. It tastes like shit. You've had it. And that's life water. Same fucking shit. You drank that.
Yeah, I agree.
They pissed in that bottle. And you drank it. And you gave them money for it. That's OD.
So
what I don't do, drink that shit. I drink this.
This is why I'm from Connecticut and I can barely do anything.
Oh my god. One thing that always kills me.
I Piccolo still. Because I'm just like. I'm just over here just like, can you take this to the Universal Fuzzy?
He's the best. Yeah, I don't blame you for playing Piccolo. That's the smart choice.
Yeah.
You be playing Krillin.
That's very true. That's 100% true. Actually, I would never play that character. That character is in this comparison, Krillin's Dasani.
He's definitely Dasani.
Wow.
100% Dasani. 100% Dasani. If there's anything you guys take away from this podcast tonight, Krillin's Dasani.
Krillin is Dasani. I mean, that's a pretty succinct way to sum it up. I mean, I think it's actually kind of interesting. So, the best player in Colorado actually just picked up Piccolo. There's like
wait, Yinja picked up Piccolo?
Yinja did pick up Piccolo.
What?
Yes, he did. I got a chance to play against it, and also LK, you were right about this too. Ginyu really is good against Piccolo.
He is good against Piccolo.
I didn't get it until I played against a Piccolo, like a good Piccolo.
You have Ginyu B now.
Yeah,
you're good.
It's wild. He's just like, what is? He's like, I can't do anything, and I'm just like, it feels really good though. It's like, yes,
he can't do shit. He has to run at you, and Ginny's like, okay.
Yeah, though I will say, getting picked up by Piccolo's aerials is whack, and I will stand by it being whack till the end of time.
Listen. The character's the best though, so it's like.
I'm glad you finally came around because you weren't here for this.
I still don't think
like a month ago, this man refused to admit his character was good. He was like, you were OSing. You were OSing whether or not Piccolo was good. Don't lie to the viewers.
Until the Universal Fuzzy was discovered, I was like, okay, this character is clearly good. Like, there's clearly problems with this character that not a lot of people. And they're still not.
I think I think World Tour, before the World Tour, that mix-up wasn't discovered, right?
Right.
No. Yeah, before the World Tour final was over, that mix-up wasn't discovered, and I definitely thought he was S tier before that mix-up was discovered. Right. That being said, I do not think he's the best character.
Yeah. Who do you think is the best character? Because we had Rogue Yoshi on last week.
He gave a great answer.
He almost broke our necks. Okay, who's the best character in Dragon Ball?
It's Bardock.
Thank you.
Now I got a question. I want you to guess. Who do you think Rogue Yoshi said was the best character in the game?
Oh God, I'm wondering if he knows.
And it's not Bardock?
It is not Bardock.
I guess out of the out of top 2 characters, he might have said Gohan.
Wait, which one?
Adult.
It's not him.
Really?
It's the other one.
It's
He's
the
Teen
other.
Gohan?
Yeah.
He said Teen Gohan.
There's something wrong with him. I'm sorry, Rogoshi, you're a cool guy, but like Bardock is the best.
Well, I mean, it's
I can tell
interesting
you.
though.
Wait, tell it why is Teen Gohan the best?
So, all right. So I'm just gonna explain. Now, granted, that he did say this, and literally right after they did stealth nerf Teen Gohan.
Oh,
Did you see that? Did you see the stealth nerf?
no.
They changed his light legs. They're no longer 0. They're -2.
Oh,
Because that kind of
is
took.
that? You talking about the kick?
Yeah, his
Yeah.
the rapid
ground
rapid
one,
kicks.
The ground one. The
Yeah.
ground one. Oh.
That's now -2. They didn't like it being 0 because Teen Gohan would win a lot of those situations after being 0, but -2, it's a lot more in check. I played against a couple Teen Gohans. It feels a lot different now.
Right.
But
So what he was saying was,
at the time, he felt like the character, he felt like his tool, he had a better lariat, was one of the big things he kind of pointed to with Gohan's ability to get in. And aside from that, it was also kind of interesting because Goichi echoed this somewhat. Goichi in the tier list that he did before season 2, he had Teen Gohan in A tier, and everyone thought he was crazy. And
no,
then,
I don't think that's crazy at all, though.
yeah, and then season 2 came out, Teen Gohan got better, and he hadn't made another tier list yet, but it looked like, but he said that his view of the character had changed after being blown up by the was it Taiwan? Where was the Teen Gohan from who blew him up at the major?
Either Singapore
Or was it Singapore? I think it was Singapore.
It was Singapore.
Yeah, he played against a Teen Gohan from Singapore who didn't beat him but took him the distance.
Yeah.
And he said his
If you're not
views had
prepared-
changed.
If
And
you're not prepared, it's really tough to fight him. That character's actually kind of scrubby. Especially if you don't, again, he's uncommon, so it's like, and then even if sometimes there's a case like you can know, but you don't get to play against it enough, so it's like your reactions aren't trained to like act in certain ways.
that make
I do think the character is strong, though. I'm not gonna say he's not strong. I think Teen Gohan's quite strong.
Are there
Best
characters?
character?
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, my bad. No, I was like, I don't think he's the best character, but like,
yeah.
he's good.
Is there any characters that not a lot of people are talking about that you think are is super strong? Like, is there a character that people like lowball like on a tier list, or do you think everything's kind of like set in stone now?
Well, let me see. I'm looking at the list of characters too. I think Cooler is a little slept on. I think not enough people are talking about Adult Gohan or Teen Gohan, to be fair. I think still not enough people talk about Hit. Kid Buu is still S tier. More people should be talking about Piccolo being S tier flat out. Base Vegeta, if they didn't change him, he actually would be like close to like true top tier. But
Really?
they kept him down. Yeah, I just think he has like a lot of mid options. His key blasts are really good, but they fucking kept him down. If they left the level 3 alone, he definitely would be like S- right now.
His mix is actually really scary. The only good base Vegeta I've gotten a chance to play is Gigantis.
Yeah, he's from my state.
Yeah, he's from Connecticut. And every time I get snapped out, his snap mix is actually really, really scary.
It's good.
It feels just like Piccolo. It feels equivalent. And I think they're all, from what I understand, are true 50-50s with Cell Beam backing them up.
Yes? Yeah, I would say yes.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, when someone snaps you, you should just be thinking, "Man, good luck me." If they're like regional level or higher, like you should when you get snapped, you should just be like, like honestly,
It's like
you should be like, wow, like it's coming. Like,
do I want to burn Spark right now? Or do I want to
Actually, that's a great question. And we'll kick this over to you. Okay, when someone starts snap mix on you, when do you apply the sparking? What if you can't just block your way out of it? They're very good. You're having a lot of trouble. When do you commit your sparking?
Right now I play no tall characters. So that's one.
Okay.
2, so I don't have to worry about it. Two snap loop type of things. One thing is like, so you know you take blue life, right? Like blue life is a thing. So when they snap you, depending on how they snap, it's like either if they're trying to build a lot of meter in the snap, you always get your blue. If they're trying to kill blue life, they're not building a lot of meter. So you actually can just really try to block. Because if you don't have, especially if you don't have tall characters, they can't fuzzy you alone. At least generally,
Right.
unless they play Piccolo or something. So you can really just legitimately try to block it up. A lot of the good 50-50 setups, they have to use an assist. So depending on where you are in the game, like if they're doing something, let's say they do a Bardock style thing, like blah blah blah, air combo, B mixer, Yamcha, Dragon Rush, then snap, right? Then they have one assist. So they try to mix you with the assist. You don't have a tall character. They try to mix you with the assist, you guard. Then you're just in a normal defensive situation where they have to fight to get their assist back. And the only thing then is that you just have to be willing to make a choice or block 2 more mix-ups because you decided to not to.
Okay.
But generally, like, there's not really snap situations where, like, I'm outright, like, I have to fucking spark because I'm definitely going to get fucked. There's very few in the game. Most of the time, I'm honestly just going to try and block it up, especially if it's early game.
Right.
That makes a lot of sense. And actually, kind of somewhat playing off of that, especially at the mid-level and I think low-high, defense is one of the things that gets talked about a lot. Obviously, Goichi is sort of the gold standard for defense, like widely agreed upon. What is it that what do you need to do to improve your level of defense in this game to actually elevate your defense?
Probably study character offense, learn how to use the defensive systems in the game, learn general fighting game defensive probably those things are most important. Because if you only know defensive technique but you don't know the characters, then you're gonna use the defensive techniques wrong and you're gonna get hit by accident,
right?
Which is not good.
Oh, like when people try to guard cancel and walk forward, stuff like that.
That's more of a system. That's not a general thing. That's the second thing. That's more of knowing the system. It's a good example of So a good example of knowing the system. I'll give you an example of each one. So one would be like character countermeasure. So what I mean is, like, for example, you know that it's risky to guard cancel, let's say, Krillin, because all his normals besides his heavies are like safe on block. So you don't want to just right, because it's really easy for him to bait your guard cancel. That would be an example of character stuff. System mechanic stuff would be like knowing how to actually time guard cancel, knowing like the properties of reflect, vanish, knowing all the different ways you can guard cancel tech, tech Dragon Rush, etc., right? So that plus the character knowledge goes hand in hand. General defensive fighting game technique would be like fuzzy mash, fuzzy jump, OS guard, just the ability to apply fuzzy to the various things in the game, because there's like fuzzy reflection and shit like that too. But you can't just have that, because again it would go back to if you know this but you don't know this, then you're not going to apply it properly. So you're going to think like bullshit.
Makes sense.
So it's like all three is good, because when you have all three, it's hard because you have to put pieces together. But when you have all three, you start building like really, really effective defensive plans. Like for example, like I say I'm playing against Solo Vegeta, I am literally just going to sit there and block because he can't fucking hit you.
He can't open you up.
He can't open you up. The only way he can open you up is if he tries to open you. How is he going to do that? He has same side super dash. He can try to die kick you. He can try to fuck with your Dragon Rush timing. So that's it though. That's all he has. So you just fucking sit there. You block. If you see him try to fucking do the IAD, you 2H, you tech with Dragon Rush, you can't open you up. They'd have to work really, 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 really fucking hard if they do that.
So make your opponent work harder to open you up.
No, but that's generally implied by having good.
That's true.
It's not. You can't just be like, oh, I'm just gonna make them work. It comes from it comes from knowledge points that you put together and apply against the.
Okay, I gotcha.
So you take what you know about a character's offense, what you know about the system, and then general defensive techniques of various levels, and you apply that in situations to help you.
Interesting.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. If you don't have that, you're basically just, which I mean, is not necessarily bad or good. Right.
Yeah.
How do you want to deal with stuff?
Right. Makes a lot of sense. Small question: are you going to the Xanadu Monthly this weekend?
This weekend? No, I'm going to Toronto.
Gotcha.
I'm playing Gommel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. Because Gommel's up this weekend. Also, I presume you're going to Combo Breaker, the World Tour stuff.
CEO.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. I will.
Okay. There's plenty of opportunities to check out LordKnight this upcoming season. It looks
absolutely. Like. What are your major tournaments that you plan on hitting?
So I'm going to Gommel, Combo Breaker, maybe SNS. Maybe, but I didn't make up my mind about SNS. I also didn't make my mind, but I will go to CEO. Okay. Then I think July. I think the only thing I have lined up in July is DTN, which I might dodge because I don't like that tournament that much. And then Smash Factor, and then Evo. And after Evo, I go to Celtic Throwdown, and after Celtic Throwdown is Sea Otaku, and then after that, I haven't planned that far.
Interesting.
I mean, that's a pretty full schedule, though. So I mean, looking good. All right, it looks like we are just about wrapping up here. We like to do this with all of our guests. Give you 5 minutes. Anything you want to shill, plug, talk about. This time is yours. Take it, run with it. LK, you got it.
You got it.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is your time.
This is your time, man. Take it.
It's your time, dude.
This hour and a half wasn't my time. This is my
No, well, this is just last minute shout outs, that kind of stuff.
Okay. Shout out to my training partner. I won't name drop you, but you know who you are, and you're really good at this game. That's the only shout out. Shout out to the Squires, all of you. You guys are amazing. I'm very lucky that I have not a stream full of random keyboard monsters who just try to get me to like react angrily to stuff. The LK stream is really chill, and it's like this kind of energy what we're doing right now.
Yeah,
that's good. I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Anti shout outs to the people who say they want the Forbidden Goku mix and you. If you really cared about the game that much, you pay that $5. You definitely, and I know that guy who wants Forbidden Goku mix and doesn't sub to me, subs to Hook. Hook doesn't know that mix. I know the mix. So anti shout outs to you.
Oh, God.
Also, shout outs to New Jersey scene, even though they don't live near me. I actually feel like I have a legitimate scene for the first time in fighting games ever, which is a little touching to me. Those guys in North Jersey are really cool. And also shout outs to my real friends. My real friends. When I say real friends, I mean like SKD and shit. Like my boys from the long days. They're still out here.
The fellas.
Should I say anything else? Oh, Rogoshi Bardock is the best character. He's the best character. You can ask me why he's the best character, but he's the best character.
Yep. Well, also, I know that you've been putting out a lot more YouTube content recently. Hasn't that been going on?
Yeah. It's been going okay.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out some ways to grow the channel, I guess. I'm not trying to rush it, but it's just like... And I also don't want to disrespect these other guys, because I know they put in the work and time, like some of the other content creators who make content for Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to find my own lane where like it's something that they don't do, which is actually, to be honest, it's a little easy because like they don't play tournaments, so I have like the knowledge. I have knowledge that they don't have. But it's been going okay. My YouTube channel is LordKnight because I was too late to get LordKnight. But the shit. There's a lot of stuff there. Just gradually putting stuff up.
Yeah, I liked your video on guard canceling, and the one on
Yeah,
Fuzzies.
the defense.
Yeah. I enjoy your content, so I keep
intriguing.
on keeping on. So for those of you who haven't already subscribed to his YouTube channel, honestly, I think it's got a lot of fantastic content in terms of like the competitive level, things like that. Definitely worth your time.
Also, his Twitch, he did mention his. I'm a frequent flyer in the LordKnight channel. Super chill. There's a lot of times where I got drop a random question, and LK is really generous enough to like respond. He's very good about responding. A lot of people, like you mentioned before, aren't just like mashing keyboard stuff and like just saying, "Oh, Dad, Bar best character."
Yeah.
So,
I agree on you having an awesome chat though, because I've definitely asked questions, and your chat has answered me in like a thoughtful and respectful manner, and I'm like, wow, this is really nice.
I'm really lucky. I know I like built it that way, kind of, but like it's just fucking nice. It's really nice. Like one thing that y'all have to remember. I mean, I guess like actually you two also are included this, but like when you once you like enter a tournament, like an in-person tournament, or like you decide to be like, I'm going to commentate, right? Like I'm going to do that. As soon as you do that, the floodgates are open, right? So and what the floodgates are open for people to hate on you.
Oh yeah,
having a place or like having people that like actually support you in like a thoughtful way and like are like part of the community is one of the things that keep me going fighting games in general, because I was gonna quit a long time ago, but things just turn around. And then like when that douchebag does come up, or maybe not douchebag, maybe just somebody who's just needs attention, so they're doing that, like it doesn't bother you so much because you have like that base.
No, it makes a big difference having the people who because Twitch chat can be brutal, especially at majors when you've got all the stream monsters out. It can be like that. It's great, but it feels great to get lots of props, right? You get lots of props. You're like, oh, they're OD, you're great, blah blah blah.
No, tournament stream is fine. Like you actually can't. I'm on the team of you can't really do anything about that.
No, you can't. You have to accept it.
Like, when you circle it back to like you chilling at your house and fucking stream, because I'm like when this game came out, for example, like I caught a lot of shit online for like, oh, you're not as good as this guy, you can't beat this guy, and I'm like, imagine starting something and improving it. Like,
wow, I know.
Imagine being like, man, I think I could do better at this, and then trying to get better. So eventually, I just filtered all those fuckers out because like it's really frustrating, and like that that is kind of like a typical FGC stream monster never go to tournament thing where they just expect you to be the god. They don't like people who
improve,
get better.
Yeah, or they'll just give you hate for no reason.
Yeah,
and it's just ridiculous. But yeah, no, I totally see that too.
So having that is like really good. The LK stream, Squire people, yo.
Yeah, like I definitely feel that with like I don't know if you get a lot when it comes like players come up to me about like not only what I do for CT but like the podcast, right? It's kind of really cool to kind of like talk to them about that and like they're genuine people versus just like whatever. Oh god, like it's FloKey. He choked at fucking HOC like 3 months ago. Like,
no, yeah, that's the thing too.
It's weird.
The people who actually physically go are always going to be different from the people.
Truth.
And we need both for the scene, but it's just like it helps to have a place where it's like
I will, because I know what you mean. Like when I meet somebody who I've like never met before, and they're like, "Hey, I've seen you commentate." You know, it's like it feels amazing to hear that and just be like, "Hey, I like your commentary." It's like small stuff. Whereas like it can be different in the online space because when people are behind keyboards and stuff like that, because I've never been personally ripped to shreds doing commentary, but I've had co-commentators who have been ripped to shreds. And because I go back in the same way you go and review your games, LK, I do that for my commentary. I'll go back and I'll watch everything I've ever said. And there are parts where I'm like, I should have been blown up for that. But then somebody else would be like, that guy didn't say what change they made to Gohan's smash attack. And I'm like, if that's the worst thing you could say about me, then please. I'm good. Like what? Like all right, I'll take that.
It's so weird. Like as a player too, it's kind of weird. Like being on the like having so much footage on me now and like traveling a lot. and seeing like different reactions to different things. So like kind of looking back at those games, and like I scroll the comments of like YouTube videos because that's where most of that stuff is coming from.
Yeah.
Bless Bum and like everybody for posting all that stuff, but it's like
Bless our
people,
streamers.
It's either they comment either really nice things or they don't comment at all, and I kind of am happy about that because Lord knows, man, like I would be sitting there and I'm like, I could have done this, and like I'm ripping my own game to shreds. But we are unfortunately out of time.
Yes, we are. Vachito, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I work hard, but we are at the end of our rope here. I think this has been a phenomenal podcast. LK, I hope you had fun, my man.
Yeah, man.
It was fun. That's cool. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, you were one of the few people that we really wanted to get on. Really, like, once we got Nokami on, it was kind of like one of those like next kind of things where we were like, okay, like LK has a really good deep background in this game and has a really like different philosophy.
I'm gonna shortcut it. He's OD. He's OD, and he played Ginyu, and I wanted to have him on. Like he's awesome. He has
the best water mix that no one.
Oh, the water tech.
The water tech is OD.
The water tech is real. The water tech is real.
So when's the forbidden water tech sub goal?
Bro, all I have to say about water is that these niggas fucking clowned me for months about drinking Fiji water, and then after a fucking final round, I walk in the room and Hook and Super Noon are fucking sitting there with my case. And I'm like, fuck you guys. You came at me. Hook, we were at Sonic's, and Hook looked me in the eye and he said, I don't drink water last year. And then he had the nerve, I came at him I came at him mad hard. I was like, you don't drink water. That's what you told me.
Oh,
you don't fucking drink water. Then niggas came at me. Next, they're gonna come at me for fucking drinking tea. In fucking 7 months, they're all gonna be like, yeah, I fucking brewed this. I flew this matcha in from fucking blah blah. I know, dude. I fucking know.
Hey, I mean, it's exactly what you said when it comes to team building. You're ahead of the meta. Ahead of the meta,
dude. I'm fucking ahead of it.
All right. Well, that is going to be the wrap up here. On that water, the hydration note, I have been JDiesel.
I have been FloKey.
Goodbye.
Good night.
I'm LordKnight.
Yep, and this has been Under the Radar.
Goodbye.
Peace out, guys. You got now.